confession, this is actually the second time I am filming this video, but if you want to know exactly how much profit I made in 2021 as a part-time reseller, keep on watching. Hey guys, I'm Kay and you've arrived at my weird little corner of the internet. Welcome. If you're new here, I am a part-time reseller mostly on eBay and Poshmark, and I do dabble in a few other platforms as well, which we will talk about in this video because it is March and we're finally talking about what I made as a part-time reseller in 2021. So full disclosure, I do have a full-time job. It pays decently well. I hate it with every fiber of my being, which is why one of my goals for 2022 is to quit my job. But anyways, I do this on the side to supplement that income. It's my fun money, so our travel money. It has, helped me buy this home. It was my down payment for this home when I purchased it in 2020. It's done some home renovations. It helped me pay off my car at the end of 2021, which was a $10,000 check that made me weep inside. But yeah, we use this money for a lot of things, and then my normal job, I save a lot of that as well, but that is to pay all of my bills. So with that said, let's get into what I made last year. So before I get into the total profit, let's talk about what I profited by platform. So in total in 2021, I sold on 9 platforms. They were Poshmark, eBay, The Real, Mercari, YouTube auctions, ThredUp, my antique booth, Etsy, and I had some offline sales. Let's go in order of least to most profit, which would put ThredUp at the very bottom of the list with only $120.75 in profit. I really didn't do much ThredUp at all in 2021. It was mostly leftovers that I had from 2020 and some boxes of free items that I had gotten that I just hadn't gotten to send into ThredUp yet that I sent in 2021. So yeah, not all that much profit, and considering how many ThredUp boxes I bought last year, it all went there basically. I'm pretty sure at least $80 of it went to one whole shoebox. So, I got a shoebox for free, I guess you could say. But yeah, ThredUp was my worst performing platform in 2021. ThredUp was followed closely, however, by Etsy, where I only profited $294.53. Etsy was a new platform for me in 2021. I had lofty goals when I first started selling on there. I had a goal to sell 50 items on Etsy last year. I think I sold like 17 or 18. I thought it was gonna do a lot better than it did, but that's mostly my fault because a lot of the items I'm finding that I could sell on Etsy, so vintage stuff, because I don't make anything, so I don't do the handmade side of Etsy, which I think is really the most profitable. I've been finding them and putting them in my antique booth, but because my antique booth is only open a couple days a week, it'd be really hard for me to sell things in the antique booth and also list them on Etsy, because if they sold on Etsy, I would then have to try to find a day to go down to my antique booth and grab the item, and it just would get a little bit too messy for me. So I think that's part of the reason why I wasn't as successful on Etsy as I had hoped to be. Next we have YouTube auctions. So I think I did a total of 2 auctions on this here YouTube channel back before I was monetized, and through that I made $308.07 in profit. YouTube auctions, while it was fun to do those 2, especially the one I did with Andrea and Larry, it's not for me. I don't really like being live, even though I did a lot of live streams over the summer. It's just, it gives me a lot of anxiety, and especially so to do an auction, because I don't know, I get like really awkward when people aren't interested in something I'm selling, and so it kind of puts me in the spotlight in like a weird, uncomfortable way. So I don't think I'm gonna do any more of those, but I still made $308.07, so I guess I can't complain. Next we have Mercari, and I honestly can't tell you the last time I listed anything on Mercari, so most of these came from the first half or first few months of 2021, but on there I profited $531.44. So I would like to start listing a little bit more on Mercari, but right now I am just doing everything manually. So when I'm posting, I'm listing on eBay first, then copying over, you know, descriptions and all of that stuff onto Poshmark, and I do it all by hand, and it takes a lot of time. I don't use a cross-listing service. I don't use Vendu or List Perfectly or Prime Lister. Maybe I will start that this year, especially if I plan to ever go full-time after I quit my job, but we'll see. So I don't know, maybe you'll see some what solds with Mercari items in the near future, but for 2021 I made $531.44. Next we have my antique booth. So I opened my antique booth in November of 2020, and so last year was my first full year of selling there. I did have a couple months, I think 2 during the summer, where I actually had a negative balance, so I didn't even sell enough to make rent, which kind of sucked. But you know, summer, people are outside enjoying the weather, not so much going to spend a whole day thrifting or, you know, shopping in a cruddy warehouse or going antiquing, you know. So it is what it is, but I still made $823.31. There is, you know, the underlying caveat that I do pay booth rent every month. So from January to May, I paid $135 a month, and then I moved to a bigger booth, which has been great for me, but it's also $175 a month, and that's all taken out of my sales. So I could have made a lot more if I, you know, got these same items and sold them on Etsy or Facebook Marketplace, but I kind of like having a physical store, you know, or a little corner of the store, really, to sell my items. I think it's fun and I just really enjoy it. So the booth isn't really so much about the money for me, it's just about the enjoyment of it. So I'm happy to have made $823.31. Okay, next we have offline sales. So this would be sales that I made on Facebook Marketplace, Facebook local pickup. You know, I think I sold a couple things on OfferUp. I did have a couple PayPal sales, so sales through Instagram, or people who just reached out to me and said they were interested in an item and I sold it to them that way. That was $1,130.10. Then we have the heavy hitters. So number 3 would be the REFERRAL. I actually just came from filming a video all about the REFERRAL and what I'm sending in this box that is sitting right here in front of me. But last year I made $3,517.97 in profit on the REFERRAL. Not the best in comparison to some of the people I know that do really well on the REFERRAL, like Daniela and Jack from Jack and Ryan, Jack Valentine's channel. But that's fine. I don't really find it much in my area because, you know, the REFERRAL is luxury and designer items. It's also not really my customer. So even if I did find it, I probably wouldn't have luck selling it myself. So I'm happy to send things to the REFERRAL and have them sell it for me. And the number 2 spot is Poshmark. So yeah, Poshmark is not my main boo these days. It hasn't been for probably about a year. When I really started ramping up my eBay, but on Poshmark I made $6,536.92. Definitely happy with that number, but it pales in comparison to eBay, where I made almost $3,000 more, $9,005.47 selling part-time on eBay. So if you're good at math, which I'm not, that is a total of $22,268.56 that I made at my side hustle in 2021. Now, this doesn't account for, you know, shipping supplies, so craft paper, bubble wrap, labels, which I get for free now, but poly mailers, any of that stuff, it doesn't account for any of that. It doesn't account for the $1,400 a MacBook that I bought at the end of last year for my business. It doesn't include any of that. It's just pure profit. So, you know, what the sale price was minus my cost of goods, minus any platform fees like Posh's 20% or eBay fees, stuff like that. Just pure profit from selling those items that I pick up at the thrift store or yard sale or antique mall, whatever. And to be completely transparent with you, that $22,000 is almost exactly half of what I take home. So, you know, minus taxes and 401k and health insurance from my full-time job. So to make basically half of what I am taking home from my normal job just as a side hustle is really great for me. It's been awesome. I love it. I'm hoping to make it a full-time thing. It's really scary because I have bills and a child, and I don't know, it's just, I get really freaked out just thinking about it, but I'm hopeful that I can make it happen this year. All right, so let's drill down into some other metrics here. So Q2 was my worst quarter of 2021, and Q3 in comparison was my best quarter. Usually Q4, you know, so October, November, December, when people are shopping for the holidays, is the best month for most resellers, at least as far as, you know, they share online. But for me, it was Q3. My best month was during Q3. It was September, where I profited $2,921.34, almost at $3,000 in profit for 1 month, which would have been my record. So this is my record as of right now, $2,921.34. This was also in part due to an adjustment that happened on the REFERRAL. So I don't really know the specifics of this, but I'm gonna share it anyway because full transparency. So the REFERRAL payment, which I got in October, so October 15th for the month of September, included an adjustment that was over $1,000. I don't quite know what happened there, if they lost some items, if they, you know, mistakenly gave me extra money, but I'm not gonna complain about it. I got it, it's in my bank account, it's mine. So, like I said, I don't know what happened, but I'm not mad about it. But that also contributed to this record of a month. So just throwing it out there. My worst month happened to be during Q4. It was November, and I only profited $1,348.76. So kind of a bummer of a month, but I mean, I sell mostly pre-owned clothing and shoes, so that's to be expected. People aren't really shopping for secondhand items for Christmas presents. They want stuff that's new with tags, and I don't really have many of those things available in my closet because I shop at thrift stores where most of the stuff is pre-owned. So that's just the name of the game, I guess, but you know, it's still $1,348.76 more than I had before. So who's gonna complain about that? So 5 out of the 12 months of the year, I had over $2,000 of profit. In comparison, in 2020, I didn't have any months at all that were over $2,000. So I'm happy with that. All right, so let's next talk about the number of items I sold on those 9 platforms. This time we'll go most to least. So eBay, 549 items. Poshmark, 370 items. This can be skewed, by the way, a little bit by bundle sales. So 370 listings sold on Poshmark. Next would be my antique booth, 247 items. Then we have the REFERRAL at 88 items. On ThredUp, I sold 25 items. And then for my offline sales, which mostly is Facebook Marketplace and a small handful of like Instagram sales, was right behind that at 24. During my YouTube auctions, I sold 21 lots. A lot of those were multiple items just composed into one lot, but 21 lots of items. On Mercari, I sold 20 items, and then last would be Etsy with 17. Altogether, that's 1,361 items that came into my home and left in 2021. All right, a couple more numbers to share with you for the purposes of this video. My total sales across all platforms, this is sales, so sale price, On eBay, it also includes the price that the buyers paid for shipping, but the total altogether is $37,906.91. So obviously I didn't profit $37,906.91. If you take out my $22,268.56, I didn't do the complete math, but it's about $15,000. So that includes, you know, shipping costs, any eBay or Poshmark or other platform fees, stuff like that. It also includes, you know, the commission that the REFERRAL keeps versus what I get out of it. So there you have it. Lots of fees. I would love to just have that full $37,906.91, but you know, that's how business works. All right, anyway, so some more numbers for you. We're gonna talk about my ASP, or average sale price, for the whole year, which was $27.85, and I'm really happy with that number. I like to sell a variety of things, you know, from clothing and shoes to plushies and hard goods, and I like to have a mix of things that are low dollar and high dollar, so really happy with that number. My total cost of goods, for all of the items that sold, this doesn't include leftover inventory that I purchased, which we will talk about in a few minutes. My total cost of goods for the items sold was $3,356.23, which averaged out with the 1,361 items that sold gives us $2.46 as my average cost of goods. I am super excited about that number. I love to stay under $5 when I purchase things for my resale business, so to have a $2.46 average cost of goods makes me really happy. All right, and the last number we're gonna talk about is leftover inventory. So my leftover inventory does not include anything I purchased from ThredUp, so my rescue boxes, because I calculate them a little bit differently, but for things that I bought in 2021 and, you know, years prior that didn't sell, is $3,289.77. So that's all I have for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. It was fun putting this together. Sorry that it's a little bit late, but you know, I wanted to make sure that I gave you, you know, the exact numbers after I did my taxes, and you know, let me know, was it more or less than you expected? You know, for me, I'm happy with those numbers being just a part-time reseller. As always, I want to increase it because, you know, even if I wasn't planning to go full-time at some point this year, I still want more money. Who doesn't? But anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. It really helps me out here on YouTube to know what type of content you enjoy seeing from me. And if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. I'd love to have you here in my weird little family on the internet, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.